Hello, this is Jo Naughton and thank you for watching. Have you got any regrets? Well, of course you might say, of course I have. Who hasn't? And yes, that's a fair enough response. But I think regret is one of the most horrible feelings. We have this sense of helplessness because however hard you might try, you just can't turn back the clock and do things differently. Maybe you regret the things that were done to you, the things that were said. Maybe you regret some mistakes you made. Or maybe your regrets are about the things that happened that just should never have happened. I've had so many regrets over the course of my life, and some more painful than others. I remember one time really feeling bound in the regret of, if only I'd managed to get my little girl to the hospital in the middle of the night, that night when she was sick. If only I'd got up in the middle of the night and got her there. But I didn't. I lay there, frozen by fear. And as a result, let my daughter down at her greatest point of need. How do we ever deal with a regret like that? Well, there is a scripture in Romans that no matter how many times you or I may try to make it go away, it just doesn't go away. Romans 8:28 says this. It says that God causes all things to work together for good for those who love him and are called according to his purposes. That's a fair enough scripture when we apply it to maybe a job interview that went badly or an opportunity that we didn't get. But when we're trying to look at some of the terrible tragedies in our lives, that verse can almost seem distasteful and cruel. But I have learned over the years that we serve a God who truly does work all things together for good. And let me tell you how he does it. You see, whatever areas where you have your greatest regrets, you see, if you will allow the Lord to reach into the depths of your heart and heal all that pain and take away every shred of sadness, then suddenly a new scripture jumps in. It says in 2 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 3, it says that the Father of all comfort comforts us in our troubles. So that's the bit of you getting healed. But that scripture does not stop there. It carries on. It says, and then he uses you to comfort others with the very same comfort that God himself comforted you with. What do I mean? Well, you see, when you surrender the greatest mistakes or the deepest hurts to the Lord and allow him to heal you, he doesn't just heal you. He will turn your river of pain into a spring of healing. And so the most terrible tragedy of my life was probably the death of my dear daughter. But God didn't just heal me. He then, out of the overflow of the healing he did in me, God gave me a healing ministry. And so truly, he has caused even the death of my daughter to work together for good. And what he did for me, he will do for you. I want to pray for you. Father, I pray right now that hope will spring forth in the heart of your children. Right now, I see someone and you went through a terrible tragedy in your childhood and you have had that horrible sense of regret ever since. I see your mother dying really early and you having this great pain on the inside of her absence at monumental points in your life. And the Lord is saying, if you will allow me to heal your heart, he's giving you his word right now that you will look back in years to come and you will see good having come forth. Father, heal, I pray. And most of all for today, let hope spring forth in the hearts of your people, that you will turn this around for good. Well, thank you for watching me today. And I know this is a major issue. So if you're still carrying regrets, please try and get to one of our events or get hold of my book, Lifting the Mask. I've got a whole chapter about how to deal with regrets, and God will bring you out the other side. God bless you. Thank you for watching.